there. I didn't see you there. I was just reading a book. A good book. Ah, crap, I lost my bookmark. Anyway, let me show you what this book is all about. Yay! And just for bragging rights, it's autographed. Hell yeah. So I've noticed there's a demand for a review on this book. I've been meaning to do it for like almost a year now, but I haven't. So, you know what? I decided better late than never. So let me give you my analysis of the book Lady by Roosh V. If you're familiar with Roosh V, you might have a skewed perception of him. If you're not, keep an open mind. Well, this book is truly one of its kind. A very unique book in the sense that my already open eyes were opened that much wider by the array of bullshit that we and other chicks and other people are bombarded with by the fact that you go to school, you graduate, you get an education, you get a good job, and that's your life. That's never come naturally to me. I went to school, but that's just because I had nothing better to do. I got into debt, but that's only because I'm a dummy and I didn't listen to my dad, who's like, don't get student loans. And you know what I tell my younger self? Don't get student loans. Guess I had to learn for myself. And guess who benefits? The government. Yay, just who I want to benefit. Anyway, so, about this book. This book, sorry, sunset right now, so, you know, photo quality might be in and out. This is my first draft on doing an online review. So, continuing on, just a little bit about me. I am age 31. I know, hit the wall. And from Southern California. I started following Roosh's stuff when, in, I'd say February of 2019, after a pretty crazy breakup that shattered my whole perspective of what life was going to be. And during a very, very down, sad time, I messaged my brother, and his best advice and recommendation was to buy me this book. So, thank you. Right, you know who you are. Anyway, so my analysis of this book. I think it is a must-read for every motherfucker out there. Sorry about cussing. I'll cut that out if I know how to edit. Some main points. All right, there are three main. Let me use this for reference. Oh, and just in case you didn't know, when I went to one of the author's talks when he was in my city, I was lucky enough to get an autograph, and it says, to me, I hope this book helps you bond strongly with a good man. And it has. And I'm very thankful for that. Because all of the things that have always come naturally to me have been the opposite of what society tells me I should be doing. Thankfully, I was raised by parents who had their eyes opened for a very long time, so I had great role models. Even then, I still have been hugely influenced by society, even though I was homeschooled from grades 3 till I graduated early, mind you, at 15 and a half. And that's why I started college, because I had nothing else to do, and 2 weeks after turning 18, I got my associate's degree. Do you think I'm bragging? Not really. You know what that associate's degree has gotten me? Diddly squat. Good thing I didn't, spend any money on that. Jeez. So moving on. The three main topics of this book. Let me reference it. Oh, and he dedicated it to his sister. Ah, shuckums. That really hit me in the feels because my brother got it for me, so ah, shuckums. So the first book one is you. So all about the female who's reading it, right? And then the next one is men. And, it just describes the male psyche in the most honest way I could possibly have hoped. Because, yeah, I'll just keep it at that. And then the third book is on relationships, on how to attain one. Basically, just stand around and wait for a dude to come up to you, which is pretty true. I mean, come on, chicks. We know, yeah. And then how to put them through a bullshit test, kind of. That's how I look at it. Is, how full of crap are they when they come up to you? Are they being honest? How honest are you being? And then it just gives you some advice and techniques on how to find somebody who is on your level of wanting the same things. Keep in mind, the main goal of this book is to assist women in finding a long-term, committed relationship that will eventually end in marriage. Long-term, meaning lifelong. So, an unwavering commitment, essentially. That's what this book is for, is what, you're looking for. Or what you should be looking for. Or maybe you just want to fuck around and, get somebody else's opinion and be like, no, this is all wrong. This guy's an idiot. He's a misogynist. He's an asshole. No, he's just honest. I'd still recommend it, though, even if you are not looking for a committed thing, because having been both in a very committed relationship and a period of singleness, I can only say that those who say they enjoy being single, really, it's fun going to sleep at night alone. It's fun not having somebody to call up and be like, oh my god, the coolest thing just happened. I want to share this with you. I mean, if you've been through crappy relationships, then yeah, I can see that. But, the goal is to keep the relationships minimal by first assessing your perception on dating. Do you think dating is something that is realistic? Like, what's your perception of dating? My perception of dating was, okay, I'm with this guy, and I'm going to be with this guy to determine if he's marriage quality or not. One thing that my brother and I discussed when we were younger was a lot about, relationships and stuff. And one of the most mind-blowing concepts that ever hit my mind was, whoa, when you're considering somebody, or if you're actively dating somebody, there's only going to be two outcomes. One, you're going to break up. Two, you're going to get married. That concept, that simple little concept, blew my mind, and it was one of the best pieces of information I've ever received, because from that point forward, and I wasn't dating or anything prior to that, I don't think. No. But that concept alone helped me determine, while moving forward, does this guy that is attractive, is appealing in some way, that, I share a connection with, whatever, can I see myself long term? If the immediate answer was no, then no. If it was a question mark, I forgot what I did, to be honest. And if it was a yes, then full speed ahead. And that's probably why I hit the wall, as I did, and probably why I was, unsurprisingly now, completely disappointed at a 6-year relationship's failure, because I was not asking the right questions. And that is the first thing on the first book of you. Let me refer back again. Let me read this. Oh yeah, And I won't go there. You know what? I'm not going to spread false news. Because that's not a point. It's just, things about rape and stuff. There's been some weird concepts about rape and certain classific. I don't even know how to word it. Just don't rape people. I think it's pretty obvious. If you're a chick, if you're gonna walk into the ghetto at 2 a.m. and you're drunk, probably don't. If you need an Uber and you're drunk, make sure the license plate matches your app. Make sure a friend or somebody knows what and where you are, etc. Just be safe. And if you're a guy, just don't rape people. Pretty much. Oh, and I did hear one very interesting tip that I think would be good. If you are with a chick who you think, after banging, might be one of those types who's like, I'm gonna make you look bad. I wasn't consenting to this. Take a video of them consenting. Even if it's without their knowledge, just for your own personal safety, because in all reality, and with all realism here, I have a friend who's serving 13 years in a state prison because his crazy girlfriend claimed that he raped her in the most lewd of ways, when in fact they were just both very strongly into BDSM, and she was angry at him. So, he didn't do it. I wasn't there, but he was a friend of mine. He never raped me. He never gave off any rapey vibes. And this is like considering I've slept over at his place before. Like, he was not a rapey guy. I don't see. Oh, that's just a kitty on my roof. I have an army of kitties keeping me safe. See? That kitty's name is Crosshair. Ah. Anyway, yeah, I'm a cat lady too. Anyway, so let's see. First thing is, okay, one, are you a feminist? Why? Do you know what feminism is? Do you know what nowadays feminism is? Do you know how perverted and warped feminism has gotten? Feminism has apparently come in 3 waves. The first wave, which most people are aware of, was during the 1930s, the women's suffrage, all that, right? Apparently the next wave came like in the 60s or something, and then the next wave came in the 90s, which essentially made it so that it's no longer about equality, it's about being more, having more status than men, essentially reversing the rules, like, hey men, you've had your patriarchy for so long, you know what, it's now time for the matriarchy. So, flipping the script. And very cleverly done. So if you consider yourself a feminist, just define it. Write on a piece of paper what you personally define as feminism, and then see if it matches up with society's perception of feminism. Next. Did you know? Crazy information, I know. Did you know that without, like, things like, what's that stuff where they, like, go inside you and implant an egg and stuff like that. Without all that technology, did you know? Apparently it's a secret. Did you know that women have a ticking biological clock? In that by around like age 36, if you're still planning to have kids, it's going to be a tough road. Yeah. So that means that when you're younger, you might want to give some consideration to, do I really want to pursue this career that I find really cool and stuff? Or do I want to pursue a family? And then perhaps after that, go to school, do your career stuff, whatever. But then again, maybe you really like being there, being home for your children. Maybe you like having it so that when your husband comes home, the house is clean, the kids are happy, you know what's going on with the whole family, so then the husband can relax, decompress. And then you find out, wow, I love being there for my family. Thankfully, I was raised in a way where I witnessed this, but for some, and I can understand why, That's a novel concept, especially for those who have grown up in families where Mommy and Daddy were not both part of the picture. And I'm not just saying from the point of view of like, oh, I spent a week with Mom and a week with Dad. I mean, Pops is gone, or Mom packed up and left 10 years ago when I was 2. Very sad stuff, right? Yeah. So, the first book, it just gives a very, very, very honest, in my opinion, a very honest analysis of how women perceive themselves, why women perceive themselves in such a way, and it's very accurate, in my opinion. Very much so. And my goodness, I could go on for ages on this book. My goodness. Wait, let me see there. Oh yeah, one of the most impactful things that I read here was that we all have a devil and an angel. Just picture an old cartoon, where a cartoon character's faced with a dilemma, and then poof, on this shoulder there's a devil saying, do it, who cares about the consequences, go have fun, do it. And then poof, on this shoulder, the little haloed angel comes up saying, don't do it, think long term. Think wisely about this. And a great thing is feed your devil, didn't mean that. Feed your angel, not your devil. That concept, utilizing that concept to analyze certain things has made me make much better decisions as of lately. So that was something I got hugely out of this book. God, I just want to tell everybody to read this book. I've heard how a lot of men are getting this for their daughters or their wives or whatever, or sister. I'm sorry, not wives. Some, I'm sure. But like a lot of men are getting this for their daughters or their sisters, as my brother did. And that's very sweet. That's very nice, because even if you don't agree with the information provided, it's still an opposing viewpoint. It's still another point of view to consider. Because everybody has their own brand of what they believe is right. And there's nothing better in this world than questioning. And, then there's nothing better in this life than questioning the validity of your beliefs and re-questioning them as time goes on. Oh, lordy. Another thing that was really pushed in the book about you is things you can do to enhance what nature gave you as your bait for men. Your beauty, women's beauty. Even if you're not the most gorgeous character in the land, there are things that you obviously can do to enhance your looks. And 2 things that the author says really helps is 1, long hair. Thank you. And 2, slimming down the waist. Slimming down that gut, you know what I mean? And it gives some techniques on how to do that. Thankfully, every time I've gone and considered, you know what, I want this cool looking haircut. I want this trendy, cool, pretty look. Every single time, I would legitimately consider it. Is the weirdest thing. An elderly guy would just randomly in public come up to me in a non-creepy way at all and say, "Wow, you have the most gorgeous hair. Never cut it." And I listened. My father said the same thing, my brother said the same thing, and these older dudes said the same thing, so I took their advice, and I'm glad I did. Wow, I'm already to 20 minutes. Well, that summarizes the first book as of now, and my first trial at doing a review. So, tune in next time for the review on book number 2, and I promise I'll do a much better job on that one. But this is my contribution for now, and an active thank you to the author for helping change many viewpoints of mine to make me realize that, wow, not wanting to go to work and not wanting to have a career and not wanting to bring in large amounts of money or gain status in some, high job is because my natural way is to nurture. And I always confused it with being lazy. But it's not being lazy. It's being me. It's being authentic. Because there's nothing that I love more than being able to help out the man that I love in the way that helps him the most. That's it. That's all I want to do. All I want to do in life is literally serve a guy and make him happy. That's a good guy, obviously. Um, that's all I want to do. That gives me the happiest feeling in the world. More so than buying something, more so than getting a compliment, more so than anything, is finding a cool guy or knowing a cool guy and doing something that I know will help them out or make them happy. And that's what I want my life to be. And had it not have been for this book, I would not have come to that realization that, wow, what I'm feeling is natural. It's not lazy. And it was very eye-opening. Anyway, go check out the book. I hope this has been slightly helpful, and stay tuned for more. Bye-bye!